Good morning. I am Vinod Garg and I am a certified PMP and PMI scheduling professional. Today we will discuss about a very important knowledge area of project management. This is project communication management. What is project communication management? What do we do in project communication management and why it is so important? The first question is it possible not to communicate? Normally, we talk in these terms. I have stopped all the communication with him. But is it possible that you stop the communication? It is not possible. Communication is a behavior. Communication will go on if we are live, the communication is there. It has to be there because communication can be non-verbal. Communication can be without speaking. Why it is so important in project management? There is a question in PMP, how much time a project manager gives to communication? The right answer is 90%. 90% of the time, a project manager should be busy in communication only. Because everything and anything he does, it is communication. The communication is exchange of information, intentionally or unintentionally. And information can be in the form of ideas, instructions, or emotions. There can be different communication technology used in the project. There can be different communication methods. There can be different communication model. And first of all, before going into the details, we need to find out the communication requirement of the project. If there is a project and it's a local project and only 4 or 5 persons are there in a room, every day they can meet, they can talk, and maybe the communication management plan you feel is not required. But when we talk of project management, we talk of bigger projects where so many people are involved in the project. We need to have a proper communication management plan. According to one study, only 7% is the role of the words, 55% is non-verbal communication, and 38% is paralingual. What is paralingual? Paralingual is tone or expressions. Voice tone expressions, it comes into paralingual, and in non-verbal, it is like body language, you can say. What is your body language? What is your personality? What you are wearing? How you are standing? All that comes into non-verbal, and words have the weightage only 7%. Normally there is a question in PMP, what is the percentage of non-verbal communication in project management? The right answer is 55%. Now there are 3 processes in project communication management. First is in planning, it is plan communication management. The output of this will be communication management plan. We do the complete planning of communication in this. Then we manage the communication in executing. The main work is done in the managed communication. In the planning it is planned, in managed, in controlling we make sure that the whatever communication planning we did, whether it is being implemented or not, whether we need to make some changes, we need to make some changes in technology being used or frequency being maintained of certain communications, or we need to add communication management plan. Communication management plan is a subsidiary plan of project management plan. Out of 9 subsidiary plans, one is project communication management plan. In this communication management plan, we identify, we decide, we plan that what are the communication required. First thing in communication management plan is what is the communication requirement of the project. How do we find out what is the communication requirement of the project? We do communication requirement analysis. Now, who needs to be communicated? The purpose of project communication management is that right information about the project is available with the right person at the right time. So in communication management plan, we decide that who will generate the information, what is right information, who should be informed about something, who is responsible for sharing the information. All this is covered in communication management plan. Now, in communication, to whom do we communicate? There can be external communication, there can be internal communication. If you deal with client, if you deal with vendor, if you deal with supplier, it is external communication. If you deal internally with your sponsor, with your teammates, it is internal communication. Then comes, there can be upward communication, there can be downward communication, there can be communication with peers. When you have upward communication, you have to be more formal. If you communicate with your sponsor or your seniors, it is upward communication. If you talk with your juniors, your teammates, it is downward communication. And if you talk with the peers, the project managers of other projects, you may be asking something from them, from their project. So that is communication with the peers. Then there can be formal communication and informal communication. In different situation, different type of communication can be important. If there is a conflict resolution, there has to be informal resolution. Even the meetings come under informal communication. The agenda of the meeting will be formal. The minutes of the meeting will be formal. But the meeting in particular, because there is no fixed thing in meeting, you can have some informal conversation in the meetings. So like that, we collect the communication requirements from different stakeholders. After analyzing the communication requirement, it comes communication technology. Which communication technology is to be used for which type of communication? Different stakeholders will require different communication technology, and maybe different type of communication needs to be the different technology needs to be used for different communication. Like for tendering, if you are looking for a subcontractor for some package and you want to give an advertisement, you have to decide whether you will give it through newspaper or through website. What kind of communication you will decide. So that comes into communication technology. Which technology, and this technology will depend upon project environment, in which company, in which organization you are working, and what is the urgency of the communication. There will be so many factors in this. Then there is a communication model. There is a standard model of communication in which one sender has to be there, one receiver is there. The sender encodes the message and transmits the message through some medium, so that the receiver receives it and decodes it and acknowledges it and gives the feedback. The communication model is completed when sender sends the message after encoding it, transmits it through some medium, and the receiver receives it and is able to decode it and acknowledge it, and feedback is received by the sender again. Then comes different communication methods. There are three basic types of communication methods: interactive communication, push communication, and pull communication. In interactive communication, the sender and receiver have to be in touch, in contact. Suppose the sender and receiver, they are talking on phone. It is interactive communication. And in push communication, the sender knows that who all are going to receive the message. The address of the receiver is written or is specified with the message. Like email is there. In email, it is written that to whom you are sending it. One letter is there. It may be being sent to 10 people or 15 people or 50 people. But all the addresses are written and you know that to whom you have addressed, to whom you have sent the message. And then it comes to pull communication. In pull communication, it is the responsibility of the receiver that if he wants, he has to look for the message. Like there is a advertisement in newspaper, or there is a information on website about the tender. The receiver has to be bothered about receiving the information. The sender is not bothered. So this pull communication is done when the receivers are in large numbers, and push communication is done when receivers are in less numbers.